Fears to Fathom is a game that takes stories based on real-life events and makes them into playable psychological horror episodes. Each story is narrated from the point of view of the ones who survived. As of right now, there are 3 completed stories: Home Alone, Norwood Hitchhike, and Carson House. It seems 2 more are in production, but currently have not been released. Today I'll be focusing on the first episode, the one that introduces us to the theme of this game. Many of those who play this episode will recall feeling uneasy, tense, and so scared to the point where they can't even complete it. That got me thinking, what really makes this game terrifying? Awoken from a 2-hour nap to the sound of your alarm clock, the clock reads 8:03. It's the middle of summer. You're a 14-year-old boy by the name of Miles whose parents aren't home. Immediately, the game introduces this static, almost white noise effect over our vision. It feels like you're watching found footage rather than actually playing a game. The game tasks you with completing chemistry homework, but upon trying to start it, prompts a message reading, "I did have homework that night, but I was too hungry to do it right after waking up." Since the game won't let us continue until we eat, we begin making our way downstairs. Pulling out your phone, you see a text from your mother, informing you that there's some lasagna in the fridge. Alongside this, you try to invite some friends over, giving some sort of hope that you won't be completely alone tonight. But the plan still seems a bit open-ended. Exiting the messages, we continue walking to the stairs. However, before going down, you notice a room off to the side. Entering it out of curiosity reveals that it's your parents' bedroom. A bit of a contrast to every other room we've been in because this one is pitch dark. Not seeing anything of importance, you make your way over to the bedroom window, and end up seeing... Immediately, this catches the player off guard. They only started playing the game at least 2 minutes prior, so they're not expecting anything crazy to happen this early on. One thing I really appreciate about this encounter is that it's a completely optional scene to come across. I even replayed this part myself to see if you could spot him downstairs outside of the kitchen window, but he isn't there. This event only happens if you look outside of your parents' bedroom window. But maybe it was a coincidence, just some old man observing the neighborhood. After walking downstairs, opening the fridge, grabbing the lasagna, and putting it in the oven, we have a small amount of spare time to check our surroundings. The front porch doesn't have anything notable, but you'll find yourself subconsciously checking around the area to see if you can spot that man again. The oven goes off. You head back inside, grab the food, and are informed that you like watching TV while eating. You turn on the TV, sit down on the couch, and then it truly begins. While sitting on the couch, eating lasagna and watching TV, this happens. Now, to any of you who missed that, you're the person in the horror film that dies first. While watching the TV, in your peripheral vision, you can see a certain someone walking up the stairs. Your character does not notice it, but you do. Whenever you finish your lasagna, the yellow text reads, "I was already very sleepy after eating the food." And then the game will not progress until you go upstairs into your room. This is a perfect example of dramatic irony, the instance where the audience knows something that the character doesn't. Our character didn't see anybody walk upstairs, therefore he doesn't have a reason to be afraid to go up there, but we do. The thought of being home alone with an unexpected guest is enough to strike fear into anyone. The player will try to do as many things as necessary to avoid going back upstairs. During the midst of this, you get a text message from your friend saying that they will not be able to come over, ensuring that you're going to be alone for the whole night. While searching around for other things to do besides going back upstairs, you discover something. A very interesting thing about our minds is that we're able to come up with a bunch of questions based on one small detail. Could we have locked this door previously to avoid this? Maybe putting something in front of it to barricade it by some means. Is there a way we can notify someone that we are in danger? All of these questions are futile, since 1, the person's already inside the house, and 2, our character still does not realize how much danger they are in. All of these things that we, the player, have noticed as red flags, from the man standing outside to the fucking back door being open, our character is still completely oblivious to the situation at hand. So, with nothing else to do, you close the back door and make your way upstairs. You cautiously walk your way up the stairs until you get to the top. Once you've cleared the stairs, you try to dash for your room as quickly as possible. Shutting the door behind you and checking the room for the man, you don't see him, so you believe you are safe. The game then wants you to sit down and start doing your homework. Honestly, one of the most terrifying parts about this game is the fact that this kid has homework in the middle of July. You sit down at your desk and begin working. 4 hours go by. You stand up from your chair and look outside and realize that it is now fully nighttime, with only the moon to illuminate the sky. You think about exiting your room and searching the house one final time, but you choose not to. You walk over to your bed and go to sleep. Hey, at least if you die now, it will be while you're sleeping. 38 minutes later, not even an hour, and you are tasked with getting some water. Leaving your room this time around reveals the utter darkness of the house's interior. All of the lights inside have been turned off, and the only reason you're able to see through this darkness is due to the subtle light provided by the moon. Going downstairs and opening the fridge this time around almost feels intense. This suspenseful soundtrack will start revving up in volume in the background. You constantly look around expecting to see somebody staring at you, but alas, you see nothing. You drink your water, put the bottle down, and then return upstairs. Nothing too eventful happens until you're one step away from your bed. A text message from your mother pops up. A couple of distressing messages are sent to you, including an image of someone standing at your front door. The picture looks like it's taken from across the street, and sure enough, once you go up to the window and look, you can see a light on in the house across from you. And then the game will not progress until you go downstairs and check to see if the man is still there. In a real scenario, you should not fucking do this. You go downstairs and crouch next to the window right beside the front door, and he is still there. You get more text from your mother saying that she and Paula, your next door neighbor from across the street, have called the cops. She tells you to hide and not answer the door. As you stare at the man, watching his every move, you accidentally make a subtle noise in real life, which causes the man to fucking look at you. This game can pick up your microphone audio. And even if you were to make a quiet noise during this scene, he will look down directly at you. And worse than that, if you look away for just a split second and then look back, he's gone. You run upstairs and hide in the only spot available, under your bed. Once under your bed, nothing makes a sound. There is no soundtrack playing, there is hardly any ambience playing, and if you turn your volume up high enough, you can actually hear the sound of your own heartbeat. That is until you hear a window being smashed in. The intruder is now for sure inside of the house. But then seconds later, you hear your front doorbell ringing. A new message from your mom informs you that Paula is at the door. Yet, you feel conflicted about if you should even leave your hiding spot. No doubt about it, you know for a fact that the intruder is now inside of the house. But Paula being at the front door gives a sense of security, a thought that goes through your head telling you that as long as you make it to the front door, you will be saved. With that in mind, you jump out from underneath your bed, run out of your room, and are about to go downstairs. The intruder is mere feet away from you. You backpedal to your bedroom and go back into your initial hiding spot. The doorbell continues to ring. Safety was only a few steps away, but here you are, hiding, still in danger. Well, that would indefinitely be the case until you hear the sound of a siren in the distance. As it draws near, you cautiously exit your hiding spot. You make your way downstairs, open the front door, and it's Paula, with the red and blue flashing lights of a police car not too far behind her. The game fades to black, and the story is finished. Now, don't get me wrong, this is far from being a perfect horror game. It does have some bugs, and it does have some unfinished textures, but it utilizes specific mechanics that most other games don't. The game being able to suddenly pick up your microphone's audio is something that can catch a lot of players off guard. This mechanic is way more prevalent in later episodes of Fears to Fathom, but it's still very unsettling to stumble across in this episode. Overall, I believe it's quite interesting that I finally found an indie horror game that can effectively scare the player without having to use paranormal or extraterrestrial terror. Fears to Fathom can assemble an eerie tone alongside a theme that is both generally terrifying and realistic. It goes to show that mundane life can be just as, if not more, terrifying than fiction. This is what I believe makes Fears to Fathom truly terrifying. These episodes are based on events that happen to real people. These scenarios can happen to anyone. Even you. With all of that out the way, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to show support to my channel, and I will see all of you in the next video.